Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here. I'm finally getting around to the video. I apologize. I wanted to get it out on this Saturday, but better late than never. So anyway, so YieldMax is declaring their distribution on Wednesday, June 5th, and ex-dividend date will follow on Thursday, June 6th, and payment date will be on Friday, June 7th. So upcoming week, it's going to be super exciting. Again, who knows what they'll pay. Again, they'll declare it the morning of June 5th. So you'll have that entire day to decide if you want to buy into it in order to qualify for the distribution. But you have to buy it the day before ex-dividend date, the trading day before ex-dividend date, which is June 5th. So you don't need to, obviously be reliant on my estimates or anyone else's estimates, because you'll still have the actual source telling you what they're going to pay on June 5th. This video is just for fun. Maybe I'm close on some, maybe I'm way off on others, but again, it's just for fun. Keep that in mind. And then obviously payment date Friday. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And by the way, just FYI guys, this Friday, I'm going to interview Jay. I'm not going to put it up live because I'm going to do a 2-part series. I'll do one just me because I have tons of questions myself for him. And then I'll do another just community questions, similar to what I did with Sylvia Jablonski. I think it worked out pretty well. So stay tuned for that. And let's get to the estimates. So here is my handy dandy YieldMax spreadsheet. Obviously, we'll go in order of when the funds have been launched. Any new funds, let's see. Down towards the bottom, we have the newer funds, YBIT, Crush, and GDXY. If you look at the launch date of GDXY, it's in the later month of May, so they're not going to pay. So I'm not even going to bother with them. Crush, or Crash, I should say, CRSH, I would assume they're going to pay. So I added them to the estimate. YBIT is definitely going to pay. They came out late the month prior, which honestly, I just thought about that now. I did not consider that in doing the estimate. So, as most of you know, sometimes I modify my estimates as I'm recording this video. Because unfortunately, when I do the estimates, it's in between usually the chaos of life and sometimes I don't have, this is like the most peace and quiet I have usually is when I make the videos. I lock myself in the garage and I make the video. So that's why I always change things. Anyway, let's get to my estimates, see what it looks like. So scrolling across, here we go. All right, so let me zoom out. Okay, I want to get a decent amount of stuff in the screen. Just should be good enough. Okay. All right, so let's start with TSLY. The stupid bottom always comes up. So last month, TSLY paid 69 cents. All right. This month, I'm going to predict they pay 58 cents. That's a 45% yield, okay? Because if I go to my sheet, and by the way, yes, for the 4 that I cover, I'll kind of do a quick recap of how I come up with it. They made overall 49 cents, right? So, wait, is this, yeah. I guess this is right, for the month. But if we go to check out their implied volatility, it's around 45 cents. And I know they strive with, we always say they strive to pay 50%. So 50%, 50 would be much more, but I don't, again, they say they strive to pay what their IV is, and they have always had an IV around 50%. But, again, this is showing an estimate of 54 cents. They made 49 cents. So if I go back to my estimate is 58 cents, which, again, it's higher than what the calculator came to. The calculator came to 54 cents when all said and done, which is a 42% yield. But again, their IV is around, it's a little higher. It's at the 5% range. If you look to the right, column AO, I do include implied volatility in the picture, so you can see that compared to the yield. So as of right now, again, the price of TSLY can fluctuate, and that does matter. So Monday and Tuesday, anything can happen. So I'm doing my estimates now just to get it out in advance, something fun to watch and things like that. But obviously, if I did it on the Tuesday night, I'd have I'd have an idea of what price TSLY would be at. So these yields are based on the Friday close price. Always keep that in mind. So yeah, I'm going to estimate 58 cents for TSLY, which is a decrease of 16% from the prior month, which obviously, a lot of people aren't going to be happy if it's that low. I could be lowballing it, but again, that's just what I think. ORC, I'm going to predict 34 cents. Oh, crap. I forgot to put the other piece into the picture. Sorry, guys. So I do have a gains per share section. Oh, look at now these columns aren't aligning. Go back and go back in. There you go. All right. So yeah, we got the gains per share. Let me zoom out a little. There we go. Okay, now we're good. Gains per share, which just shows as of the last ex-dividend date up to the current date, how did the fund perform? This will capture any massive jump, so I can cover that as like synthetic income and add it to the distribution. So TSLY did go down 1.16% for the month. ORC went down 6.77%. Although that can mean they're going to win all their trades, right? But if they win all their trades, they'll probably yield, typically around their IV. But I gave them a little, boost from what their IV is. Their yield is 37% based on a 34-cent payment, which is a 35% decrease from last month. So again, these first two, just looking at them, I feel like I'm lowballing them, from the outside. But that's just what I'm coming up with, but time will tell. Aptly had a good month. Their gains per share was 87 cents, up 5.22%. So I'm going to give them a little increase from the prior month. I'm going to predict 37 cents, which is a 9% increase, and that would yield 25%. NVDY. So I'm showing $1.85. Okay, that's an increase of 54% for last month. So you see the gains per share, 275, up 10%. So again, what do I have? $1.85. If I go to my sheet, they made again $305 in total income for the month. So they could pay $2, right? But last month they paid $1.19. The prior month they paid $2.60. Will they pay $2? I don't think so. But again, they made $305 in total income for the month, which is really, really good. I just don't think they're gonna pay over $2. But $1.85 is still pretty damn good, and that's a yield of 77%. So I would not be disappointed with $1.85. And guess what? If they pay over $2, even better. I hope I'm wrong on that. Believe me, I hope it's $2. All right, AMZY. I hope I'm wrong on this one, but I'm lowballing this one for sure. This is another one that I own. I think they're only going to pay 78 cents because if you look, their fund went down 3.34%. 30-day IV is showing 24%. That's super low. So, I still gave them 78 cents, which is a 41% yield. And I don't know. Sometimes AMZY, they do price pretty high. Again, in April, they actually only paid 69 cents. Last month, they paid 97. So I think it's going to be around 78 cents for AMZY. Phoebe, a newer fund I got into, they paid 89 cents last month. I think they're going to pay 78 cents, which is a 48% yield. Their capital did go up a little, but overall stayed flat. Again, 78 cents is considered low. But you never know. I don't know. I just realized I gave AMZY and Phoebe the same exact estimate, but we'll see. Good old GUI, GUI, one of the worst performing funds, still hanging in there though. It's paying 51 cents per my estimate, which is a 33% yield above their IV. Overall, they had pretty good month. They jumped 2.83%. But they did pay 66 cents last month, 30 cents the month prior. So 51 cents is kind of right in the middle. But we'll see. NVDY, another one I own, they paid 96 cents last month. But guess what? I'm going to give them a boost. Boom, $1.05. Let's go. 72% yield. But if you look, their implied volatility is 25%. Is that even possible? Well, maybe, maybe not. But, you know, they made 81 cents for the month. Capital appreciation, 4.86% gains. So I gave them $1.05. Is that justified? Probably not, looking at this right now. Let's see, $1.05, 70. What the hell was I thinking? Only an 81% yield. They haven't even, well, it's been a while since they paid over $1, to be honest. So they, I don't know. It's a tough one with NVDY. I don't know. I should adjust that one. I should adjust it. Whatever. I'm just going to leave it. I don't care. All right, let's move up. All these up. All right, CONY. CONY. Oh, my God. What's going to happen here? Well, they, for the month, gains actually kind of flat. They went down 0.7%. But I'm going to estimate $1.35 as compared to last month. That's horrible, right? Last month was $2.28. But if you go to my spreadsheet, you'll understand why. The payment summary for the month, I mean, they had no synthetic income. They had a loss. And they had very little short call income, 9.8 million. So that's a net income, a loss of 49 million. So they didn't make anything this month overall. In fact, they lost 207. If we look at the short call income alone, they only made 41 cents, all right? And even if I use my 2 more day estimate, that comes to 45 cents, all right? Which is pretty bad. But they have some NAV reserve from the previous months, right? So they could use that to help, pay this. But that's basically why I decided for CONY. I'm just going to go with the IV. So the IV, 30-day IV is 71%. $1.35 would yield 71%. So that's my prediction for CONY. So sorry, guys. I know you guys want more for CONY, but it wasn't, again, they can't do great every month. All right, let's talk about DSO. DSO paid 70 cents last month. Unheard of. That fund went down a lot, 8.95% this month, which means they won their weekly calls. So, we'll give them close to their IV. In fact, I gave them a little more than their IV, 24% yield. I gave them 38 cents. MSFO, kind of in line with last month. Last month, they paid 57 cents. I gave them 55 cents, which would come to a 30% yield. That's more than their IV of 19%. They did jump 10 cents for the month. So, again, we'll see. Zomo, 33 cents from the last month. I'm going to say this is a decrease to 28 cents, which is in line with their IV, 18% yield. They kind of stayed flat this month as well. JPMO paid 41 cents last month. I'm going to predict 43 cents, which is an increase, because they did jump 60 cents or 3%. So they're going to yield, per my estimate, 25%, which is above their 17% IV. AMDY, I'll probably get this one wrong, but if you look at the gains, 7% in gains. They made $1.17. So I got to say, they're going to be in the dollar range. All right, they're going to yield 74%. They paid $1.11 in April, and then they paid 51 cents in May. I think this is another dollar month. So I'm going to go with $1.10, which is a big increase from last month, and that's a 74% yield. I don't own AMD, but again, I'm rooting for you guys that do, and hopefully it's a good month. PP, 94 cents last month. That was a really good month. But this month, I don't think they did that good, to be honest. But I'll still give them above their IV. I'm giving them 52 cents, which is a 34% yield. SQY paid $1.11 last month. I'm going to drop them down to 69 cents, which is kind of in line with their implied volatility, 42% yield. They tanked as a fund, right? They went down $1.65 in share price. They went down 7.78%. But even though, again, they went down, that probably means they won a lot of their weekly calls. So if they just made the money on the weekly calls and no synthetic, that to me tells me they're probably going to pay within the range of their implied volatility. MSTY, 94 cents last month. We're going to give them a little drop to 85 cents. They dropped 6% in price. So I'm going to yield them around 53%, which, you know, their IV is 52%. All right. What do we got left? We got AIYY. They paid a whopping 40 cents last month. I'm going to give them 70 cents this month. That's a 63% yield. That's way above, not way above, but that's above their 49% IV. But look, they jumped in price 96 cents, 7.82% increase. So you got to love that. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they pay even more. You know, they probably will. So I probably lowballed this one, to be honest. But, you know, I'm too lazy to make any changes right now. MSTY, they paid $2.52 last month. And guess what, guys? I think they're going to do it again. I think they're going to pay $2.50. That's a 92% yield. They may even pay $2.52 on the line. They made $2.32 per share for the month, up 7%. We could look at my spreadsheet. Where is it? MSTY. So if we go to the payment, they made $4.42 for the month, right? But last month, again, they they had reserve from the first month. I tracked them of $4. Then they basically lost to $8, and now they made another $4. So this is kind of where I'm coming up. You know, I'm not going to give them $3. There's no way. So I think they're going to stay in the $2 range, if you ask me. But who knows? You never know, man. But I think 250 is a good spot. 92% yield. Again, kind of equal to last month. All right, so YBIT, we have to consider, okay, so the fund did go up 5.11% for the month, and they also have an additional, week and a half maybe, so I gave them a 67% yield. That's based on you know, the 1 month. So if we consider the 2 month, I'm going to give them $1.25, I think, because I did not consider the additional days from, you know, again, X date was what, 5/6, and they launched, okay, 4/22. So they had about 2 weeks, so it should be even more. Wow, 2 additional weeks of income being made. $1.25, would that even justify a 5%? You know, let's give them $1.35. Screw it. It's going to be a good month for YBIT. That's a 78% yield. Might be even more than that, man. I don't know. We'll see. But per share, they made $1 for the month. Again, it's a month and a half. You know, I should probably update their price, which I didn't, as of the launch date. Right? So let's see if I can do that real quick. This goes to AQ, but we want to pull the date. Well, the launch date is 4/22, but we always have to give a +1 because it doesn't show the price. Let's try it though. The sell for that is B21. Okay. So we'll go here, AQ1, we'll do B21. B21. Yeah, see, I have to do a +1 because it never shows the launch date price. So I do that, and I go to the end, and I do +1. Close parentheses. It'll do 1 day up. Oh, damn, that changes things here. Okay. So since launch date up until Friday, this past Friday, only 12-cent gain, 0.59% increase. So the $1.35, you know, that is looking okay. I'll leave it. We'll give him $1.35, because again, it's a first month. Sometimes the first month, I feel like they like to give it a little something, just to give it some shining light. This is the Bitcoin moon. They probably want to make this a nice one, a big one. But now I could be too high. But who knows? We'll see. Whatever. It is what it is. All right, Crash. What do you think about Crash? So Crash, they actually went up 3%, right? Because they're the inverse of essentially the TSLY fund. So overall, I'll give them, I'm going to give them 75 cents. Shorter month for them, I think. 44% yield. Their implied volatility for, Tesla is 45%. Technically, I could give them a little more, but should I? No, because they had less days, right? So we'll see. It'll probably be a little more, to be honest, Crash. But time will tell. And GDXY, as we said, their IV is 32%, but I don't think they're going to pay this month. 32% is still pretty good, IV. And then obviously we have OLT, YMAX, YMAG. They have a different declaration date. I know a lot of people ask me, where's the estimate for that? But, I do have the YMAX, YMAG down, I think, estimate-wise. So I'll do an estimate on them. I don't even know. I have to see where their declaration date is. Hopefully it's the following week, not next week. And if it is, I'll do it with the YMAX estimate the next weekend, okay? All right, so those are my estimates. Again, it's more of a guesstimate. A lot of these, 4 of them, TSLY, NVDY, CONY, and MSTY, that they're based on actual data that I'm tracking. The rest, it's a shot in the dark, man. But even the other 4, it's really just a guess. Who knows what they're going to pay? Because all things matter, right? It matters like how much they made, how much taxable income they made in the fiscal year that they're in, right? Taxable year that they're in, and then how much they have extra from the previous months, how much they lost, how much return of capital they want to pay if they need to, how much they think the fund is going to generate in the future. A lot of things are considered, not just the info on my spreadsheet. So again, this is why I'm never on target. I'm never going to be really on target. I'm just going to be either close or way off. And that's pretty much it. It's really hard to become on target because I don't work there, all right? These guys are going to do what they want to do, and that's it. Anyway, so hopefully that made sense as far as the estimates. Let me know what you guys think on all of these. Do you think I'm going to be close? Do you think I'm going to be way off, or are you disappointed? Again, I think I lowballed a lot of them, probably. And some of them maybe a little too high, but who knows? It was a crazy weekend, so give me a break, right? But anyway, we'll see how, like I said, they'll declare Wednesday morning, and then you guys can make fun of me then if I'm way off. But either way, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment, so hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. And if you were, hit the like button or the thumbs up button, right? That's the thumbs up. It's sitting right there for you to hit, and then that helps the channel, believe it or not, and helps YouTube spread the word that some scrub is making videos on a phone, and then people have the option to click it. When they see my poop thumbnail, they'll be very excited to click a poop thumbnail, I'm sure. But yeah. So yeah, that's all I got for today. That's the estimate. This is always one of my favorite videos. I know I wanted to always get it out the day before, but weekends are always insane. But I'm gonna do a keyword. Why not? Keyword. Yesterday was All-Star Day. It's All-Star Weekend for baseball. So today's keyword is All-Star Weekend. My son made the All-Star team, which was pretty good for his age group, and it was a good time. So they had all these skill challenges yesterday. Fielding, throwing, home run derby, running, all this, all fun stuff. So it was a good day yesterday. So yeah, the keyword, if you made it this far in the video, if you want to write a comment with the keyword, that shows me that you did watch it that far. The keyword is All-Star Weekend. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day. Later.